Good evening and welcome to the first Beyond the Front page for the spring 2026 semester here at Hugh Community College. This is shown on Spectrum, Verizon Fios, as well as ARMA, the Auburn Regional Media Access, and WIN 89.1, the college's radio station. I'm your host, Guy Cosentino. We are delighted to have in the studio representatives of the Z Club at Auburn High School, which was started in 2015. They are coming on to discuss what the club does and some fundraisers and some events they help with, as well as Auburn Zonta is also having a major fundraiser this Saturday on March 7th at the Knights of Columbus. So we're going to talk about that. We have their class advisor, Julie Liccion, here, as well as three seniors who have been members of the club. We have Skylar Bohla, Mariela Hernandez, and Madeline Wolfgang. So welcome all three of you as well as yourself to here. This is great. I was surprised we have never done anything on the Z Club. So for those who may not know, can you give us some basics? What is the Z Club?
Okay, the Z Club is like an offshoot of Zonta International. So we're underneath that umbrella. And basically we're a service club, okay?
So you're a club, not a class.
Right, correct. We are a club that takes place, our meetings at the school. What we do is we work for the betterment of women and children in the community, in the schools, internationally. Every year we do 3 major service projects, and this is a mandatory requirement of all Z Club members. So we will complete a big school service project every year, a big community service project every year, and an international service project every single year. And the kids also volunteer within the community.
So I first met you with the city, and so you've been doing the Z Club for how long now?
Since 2015.
So you've been there since day one?
Yes.
Okay.
I started the club at the high school.
And what is your role in all of this, besides getting them all here for a show?
Okay, I'm the club advisor.
Okay. And what are the responsibilities? Are you picking the projects? Are they picking the projects? How do you go about finding projects?
That's a great question. A lot of times it has to do with the needs of the community or the schools or things that the students research about international needs. So we like to have this club student-driven. So a lot of times it will be the students that come up with different ideas or different needs in the community that they hear different ways that we can help other people or other schools.
And how many members do you have?
Currently this year about 45.
Okay, and I noticed that they're all women here. Is it only all women in the club?
No,
okay.
Actually. We're happy to say that we have a lot of fine young gentlemen in our club.
And does the Z Club, there's obviously a Z Club at Auburn. Is there Z Clubs around the country?
There are, yes.
Okay.
All over the country and internationally as well.
And where's the closest one? Do you have a close one to Auburn?
We do. There used to be one, I think that's still going in Cortland.
Okay. And then there are Z Clubs in college, at the college level as well.
Yes, and those are called Golden Z Clubs.
Okay.
So the hope is that all of these fine young women, after they graduate Auburn High School and they go to their respective colleges, that they start a Golden Z Club. And we've had a former member do that at Cornell College, actually.
And from your perspective, what's the mission? What do you see as the mission of the Z Club?
To improve the lives of others around us, okay? Predominantly women and children in the community, in international means, and girls in school.
And how often do you meet?
We meet at least once a month, okay? And when we have projects going on, it'll be more frequent than that because we have to prep for projects. A lot of times our projects will take us to different places, right? And traveling on little field trips too.
So where's a field trip? Give me an example of a field trip.
Okay, well, one field trip was to Golisano Children's Hospital. That was a fun one. And we actually got a limo bus to go there. So that was one of our memorable ones.
The one in Rochester or the one in Syracuse?
Syracuse.
Okay.
And that's when Z Club made little hospital dolls for all of their patients.
So I'm interested in the three of you. You're all seniors. So we'll get to where you're going in a minute. But how long have you all been involved just this year? How long have you been involved in the Z Club?
I've been involved all 4 years in my high school.
And how'd you get involved?
Honestly, just on the morning announcements, I saw like the slide for it, and I thought it was really an interesting club, and I've heard a lot about it from students all around to my freshman year. They were all talking about Z Club and how fun it is to be part of it, so I wanted to join.
I joined my 10th grade year, and
Okay.
I heard from them because they're my best friends, so they were like, you should do it. So I decided to do it too, and it's been fun.
Okay. And yourself?
I joined as a freshman, so I've been a part of the club for 4 years. And like Skylar, I saw it on the morning announcements, and volunteering has always been a big part of my life. So getting to do it as a club in school seemed like a great fit.
So what's been your favorite part of the club so far?
One of my favorite parts of the club is getting to help the community as a group and with my fellow peers and my best friends. We get to have fun helping the community and making the world around us a better place, and the impact is really amazing, I think, that we have.
So how many hours in a given month? Because I know you're a busy individual, because I've known you through Perform for Purpose, which you also volunteer for. So how much time do you give to the Zonta Z Club?
So we have our monthly meetings that we all attend. So that's about like 30 minutes after school, about once a month. And then when it comes time to like do service projects, we contribute more hours just because they're bigger projects. So I'd say maybe like 2 to 3 hours during service project times, and then like just our general meetings that we always attend.
And I know you're all applying to colleges, and you're going to hear back if you haven't already heard back, but you're going through that process. Did you do this because, man, I like the work they're doing, or boy, this will look really good on a college application, or both?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I did it for a little bit of both, but I'm also a part of National Honor Society. So
Okay.
like the service projects that we do here also count for National Honor Society.
So there's an overlap there.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct, yeah, because it counts for a lot of volunteer hours.
And since you've been there since 9th grade, what's been your favorite part?
My favorite part is it's just a variety of different students that are a part of the club, and a lot of these kids I usually wouldn't see like during my normal school day, because in all my classes it's basically the same people. So it's just kind of fun to be able to connect with other grade levels and talk with other people as well.
So do you guys fundraise as well, or is this all supported by the district?
We do fundraise.
You do
So
fun-
we have an Applebee's fundraiser that we do. It's the pancake breakfast, and that's usually in January. We did this past January, and it's usually a big success because we basically partner with Applebee's, and we get our families to buy tickets, and Applebee's profits and we profit too. And it's just like a fun family event that we get to do.
Before getting to the Zonta Club, I do want to ask you, you're all seniors, go in any order. I'll start with you in the middle. What are your plans come the fall?
I'm looking to attend Fordham University. I'm just waiting on a few little details. Hopefully I'll be doing political science on a pre-law track, so I can be a lawyer after that.
Okay, and go ahead, Ms. Wolfgang.
So I will likely be studying biology on a pre-med track, and I'm still waiting to hear back from a good amount of my colleges before I make my decision of where I'll attend.
Do you have a specific specialty you want to do in medicine?
Not exactly, but I definitely have interest in pursuing oncology or radiology.
Okay, and I know you're in the medical field and you're looking in that quasi area as well.
Yeah, I'm looking to major in occupational therapy, most likely Nazareth, but I haven't totally committed there yet, to get my master's and then possibly a doctorate after that.
So are you all involved in other clubs as well? I know you said National Honor Society, so is Z Club just one facet of, I'm doing other things? I know you're in music. Are you doing sports? Are you doing other things? What else are you doing at the high school?
Yeah, I'm in a lot of other clubs too. I'm also in Youth to Youth Club, which used to partner with Zonta Club until this year it kind of branched off and did its own thing. I'm also a part of SAD Club that Mrs. Liccion runs. I'm also part of Triumph
And that's
Music.
Students Against Drunk Driving?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Yep.
Destructive decisions.
Destructive decision, sorry. Okay. I know there's
They updated that.
I want to get, yeah, well, I'll tell you what it was, all right? Other clubs you're involved in, or other organizations?
Our clubs mostly overlap
Okay.
because we mostly do things together. But I'm in SAD Club too, and we're both in Triumph Music Honor Society. That's just like basically National Honor Society, but just for music students. So we're in that too.
I'm also in a lot of the clubs that they're in, but some extra ones that I participate in is Model United Nations, and then I also do
What
soccer.
country are you representing?
So we actually have a conference at UNAR that is hosted at St. John Fisher University this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday, and I'm representing Honduras.
I have a friend who is one of your classmates, and I believe he is Egypt.
We're
And he
in-
has been trying to be
Yes.
Egypt since the 9th grade.
Yes,
so
we finally secured it, and we're actually in the same committee together. So
That's
we'll be
great.
spending a lot of time together this weekend.
So how is this all connected to Zonta itself? They're having a fundraiser, and we'll talk about that at the end, but how is Zonta involved here? You're a Zontian?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Zonta's a great model for us, okay? And they're like our mother club. So they help support, all our club activities. They serve, all the women in Zonta serve as role models to our students. They also get involved with different projects that Z Club is doing. But we follow along the same mission, and we partner up and do a lot of joint activities.
So if you're a Zontian adult,
Mm-hmm.
are Z Club members of the Auburn Club as well?
No, not until
Okay.
they're over 18.
Over 18?
Yes.
And
And the hope is that they're all going to be future Zontians.
and how do they interact? Give me an example of how they might interact in some of the relationship between the Z Club and the Zonta Club.
Okay. Perfect. A good example would be when we were making transitional welcome baskets for people going from homeless shelters to their regular homes. And some of the Z Club members would go shopping for some of those groceries with our Zonta members and help put the baskets together.
And I know Zonta has a Young Women in Leadership Award, correct?
Yes.
And is that a local award? Is it a regional award, a national award?
It's actually our Zonta Club gives 2 scholarships to different young women, yes, in
Okay.
leadership.
So these young ladies and everybody in the club can compete
They
for
can,
them if they're a
yes.
senior?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
So people from Auburn have received that award.
absolutely.
I want to talk a little bit because project-oriented, so no particular order. Give me an example of a project you've worked on.
So one of the projects that we've done multiple times is partner with a local organization, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And what they do is they make beds for underprivileged children in the community. So when we've gone there, we help to sand the wood, we stained the wood, and also assembled the beds. And if members could, this was one of our mandatory projects, and if members could not attend, they could also donate bedding in replace of not being able to participate.
So you guys are hammering and sawing during this whole
Yeah.
process. How many beds did you make?
No idea, but we were there for a good amount of hours, and we all worked together, and they make a lot of beds for different children, and they get to put them out quickly.
And is this, you said you've done this, the club's done it before. Have you done it
Yes.
for multiple years, or is it several times this year?
We did, I think, 3 years, 3 years, right?
Yeah.
In a row, yes.
Okay, and then you're also going to do something at Seward Elementary next week?
Yeah, so we're
So
gonna
give us an
do
example there.
we're gonna do PBAS Day, so that's positive behavior intervention systems. Supports, sorry. And basically what we do is a group of our members attends, it's various schools around our district, but next week we're gonna be doing Seward, and we go and it's basically like a reward for the elementary students for their good behavior and like promoting like good behavior, and we get to do like fun activities with each group. So like we're gonna be going to each individual grade and like doing different things with them, so it's going to be really fun.
So give us an example of what you might do with a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader.
So I believe we're focusing on like kindness and stuff like that. So I believe we're going to be doing activities surrounding how to be kind, what it means to be kind, and like how to like promote kindness within your school. So we're focusing on that, and then I think for the older grades we're going to be focusing on mental health and like how to deal with stress and stuff like that, but at like a kid level so that they can really understand it.
Now, had any of you been involved, besides when you got to 9th grade and you heard it on morning announcements, which apparently is a good way to get in touch with you all, had any of you heard about the Z Club? Had Z Club ever been in an elementary school? Where did you each go to elementary school?
I went to Herman Ave.
Herman?
I went to Wasco, but then I went to St. Joe's.
Okay.
I went to Herman.
Herman, you're both Hawks then. Okay, all right. So did you ever know about Z Club before that, or was this the first experience that you had had?
At the elementary level, I don't think that I did, no.
Okay. And so you've also, those are two local projects. You've also done a larger project. What are you working on there?
I don't think we've decided what we're going to do this year, but last year we did a big community event over at Prison City, and we helped raise money for Farmer Tanto, who helps build underprivileged communities in Africa. He builds some water wells. So one of our officers last year, someone that she knew, was in a band, and we had them come and perform over at Prison City, and it was just kind of like a big community event.
So you're raising funds in that particular case
Yes.
to send them abroad?
Yeah, so there was a cost for admission. And
So
that's
how
what
did
they
you get involved in that particular project? What brought that about?
I think our officers decided that last year, but I know during our a lot of our elementary school years, like we did projects with Farmer Tanto as well.
Yes, so that's one of the good examples of how things sometimes come full circle. They learned in the elementary school about Farmer Tanto, read a story about him, and the kids remembered him actually. And one of the librarians from Genesee suggested that, maybe we want to help out Farmer Tanto because she goes down there, Ms. Clerico. So we figured how neat that would be to do something for him. And actually, remember, we FaceTimed him, at one of our meetings, and he talked about his purpose in Cameroon and what he does and all the good work. And he was really touched for the fact that we really wanted to, help his cause.
So I remember this story from not many years ago, but 7 years ago. So if you go on the Citizen website, you can punch in Cameroon and Wells, and there's a story, because he came here, correct?
Yes.
To do that. So how will you pick your project this year? Because it almost sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, so school, local project, school, community project, local, Cuba County, Auburn oriented, one big national or international project. How do you pick projects?
I think it's just, what we find interest in, or I believe last year we made first aid kits for, was it Ukraine? So just like issues that are happening in the world right now too, and that we see importance in.
When will you make a determination of what your 2026 project is?
Very soon.
I was going to say, because there's not a whole lot of months left.
But we already had our fundraiser, so
Okay.
it's just basically kind of narrowing it down. Usually we have all that laid out in the fall. This year was kind of like a little exceptional year. I'm also partnering with another teacher who is learning how to do Z Club, Mrs. Petcher. So hopefully she'll take over and continue on.
So I'm going to ask you this question last, but I want to start with the three. So you've been doing this for 3 years, 4 each. Tell me your favorite project so far. Think back in the last 4 years, what was the one thing, if I could do something over again, I would do that project.
As Madeline said, personally, my favorite project was the bed building, just because you saw like how much hard work it took just to build one bed. But it was also just a lot of fun, even though it was early in the morning where I was making fun of it. So.
Okay.
I'd say my favorite projects have been the PBIS days. I think it's just really fun to work with kids. I teach kids outside of school for music lessons, and I've always liked that. So working with younger kids has always been super fun. And it's really fun to see, we get to work with kindergartners, but then we also get to work with 6th graders. So it's cool to work with different maturity levels. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just really fun to encourage them to be a part of the community like we are. And I think it's really cool that we get to do that within our community.
So besides the building beds, which sounds really cool, is there another project in 4 years this was really fun?
So places in the community will reach out to Z Club looking for volunteers and for help, and one of those is the Salvation Army. So over these past 4 years, we've made it a tradition, the three of us, to go volunteer there during Thanksgiving time and help prepare food baskets for different people in the community. And it's become a fun little tradition with a lot of interesting stories, and we just go there for a couple of hours, hang out, and cut up some bread and tear up the turkey, and it's just become a really fun tradition for us.
So it sounds like it's going to be a tradition in November of 2026 as well, when you're all coming back one weekend for college.
I think we might have to come back.
Yeah.
Just for that? Okay.
Have a reunion.
Yes.
So you're now going into the 11th, or you'll be going into 12th year, but 11 years you've been doing this. Do you have a favorite project among those?
Oh boy, there's a lot of them. Hard to say. Yes, actually, I can recall one, and that's because it directly impacted the children that I worked with at the high school, and that's when we built a playground for the preschoolers, and that was on unusable space, and we made a blank space, okay, look beautiful with a playground that the kids have enjoyed for over a decade.
So I should have said this. What do you do for the school? You know, I glossed right over that, and I apologize for that. What do you do for the school district?
That's okay. Currently, I'm the work-based learning coordinator for the district. So
And what does that mean?
That's a fancy term for placing students in paid internships around the city and in the community.
And how many paid internships are there around? Besides not enough.
Not enough, right? That is true. This year, I have almost about 20 students, probably.
And have any of you all participated in internships at this? I don't know how you can fit it in your schedule.
That's actually the problem with all of them. Okay, they're too busy. Okay, my businesses, I'm certain, would love to snag them.
So, Ms. Wolfgang mentioned there were other groups that come. So, how does someone approach Z Club to say, "Hey, you know what? Beds are important. We still want you to do beds, but could you help us out?" You did the Salvation Army. Who else is out there who's come to you? Or how do they come to you? Because you also have a finite amount of time with these students.
Cougar Action Program. Okay, they are an organization that's really near and dear to our heart, as well as to our Zonta group. So that's an organization that did reach out before, and domestic violence also, that shelter. The ladies that run that also reached out to us in the past. So there's a few different community organizations. When they find out the good that Z Club has done, they want to.
Well, because I want to ask about, sometimes people may not have a project, but they could help you. So I'm assuming you take donations.
Yes.
Besides cash, which I'm assuming they send to the district, or who do they send it to?
Okay, so how that works is we don't get too many cash donations.
But you'll always take them.
But we will always take them, yes. Typically, it'll be for like one of our projects that we're doing. For example, the butterfly garden that we did. We had donations from Lowe's. We had donations from Home Depot. None of our projects come from district funds. Okay, so it's through fundraising or community resources that help us out.
And I don't know what you did as a butterfly farm. What did you do on the butterfly?
So the butterfly garden is when one of our former Z Club members was tragically killed by a drunken driver, and we built a butterfly garden at the high school in
her memory.
Yes.
Is this Chloe Calhoun?
It is.
Okay, so something like that. That seems to be like a groundswell type of thing. Okay, this is what we want to do. How about other projects that are out there where people can give you an in-kind? So Salvation Army may not be a good example, but I thought you said you had made something for domestic violence. What did you do dolls at some point?
The Golisano Children's Hospital.
Children's Hospital, sorry. So
yes.
There you need materials.
We did.
Okay, so what do you need and how can people help?
I'll tell you what, our Zonta group is great like that, because anytime we're doing a project, what they will do is say, anything that you need for this project, we can help out. So we got different types of material from our local Zonta group. When we also did, here's another one of my favorite projects. I just got to jump and guy. Okay,
that's okay. That's
really
what we
exciting. Oh my gosh, this is like early on in the Z Club years. What we did is we actually sewed dresses for orphanages over in Africa, and that was really, really neat. And you know how we made those? Is out of pillowcases. And I had one of the Z Club moms make a pattern for the dresses, and we got all the embellishments and everything from community members and Zonta members.
So on these international, you mentioned the wells in Africa and Cameroon. That sounds like because there was a local connection to it. When you get these international projects, is somebody like Zonta International saying, hey, we need the following things, and you guys say, this is what we want to do?
Yes, so a lot of times I'll encourage the students or the officers to go on the Zonta website and read about different international efforts, different things that, different places that need help, and that's when they'll find a place like Africa or wherever that needs help, and we'll come up with a project.
Are any of you officers of the club? No. Okay. I do want to ask, because this weekend you do have a major fundraiser for the club. You're a
Yes.
member of Zonta. What is going on at the Knights of Columbus on Saturday?
Lady Luck.
Okay.
So Lady Luck is our fundraiser that's happening at the Knights of Columbus, and basically you buy
On Market Street.
on Market Street, yes. And you buy a ticket. It's one ticket for $50 or 3 for $100, and it gets you like a lunch, a light dinner buffet. And what's really great about that fundraiser is that you get a chance to win cash and lottery tickets, but all of the funds that we raise all go towards community organizations and that we help out.
And it should be said, Zonta, in a wide range, you've dealt with issues of abuse. You've, I think you've helped the SOCI Fund.
Yes.
There's a whole list of organizations. If you go to the Citizen website, I think Kathy Bernard writes a monthly column.
Wonderful column.
Talking about some of the things that have been funded there. I want to go back to the event, though. What time does it run?
Okay, 5 to 7.
And can you just walk in?
You can, yes.
Do you have to buy a ticket for the raffle to walk in? You can also buy a ticket at the door,
You
correct?
can buy a ticket at the door, yes.
For the raffle or for just to attend?
To attend, but you can also buy, they're going to be doing like 50-50, so you can buy an arm's length of tickets for that drawing too.
Okay, so tickets at the door are $10?
$50 for the
For
event.
the raffle?
That's for the whole event.
Okay, so the raffle, you buy a raffle ticket and that gets you into the event?
Yes, correct.
Okay, that, I didn't know if there was a
I'm sorry.
separate fee if you didn't want to buy a raffle ticket. No, okay. And so the prizes on this, it's real cash. So you have
Cash and lottery tickets.
cash and lottery tickets. So it's, and I know the Zonta Club does a drawing here at the craft fair. You do the
Lottery wreath.
and give that out. But it's $2,500 in cash plus $250 in lottery tickets for first prize. Second prize is $1,500 in cash and $150 in lottery tickets. Third prize is $1,000 in cash and $100 in lottery tickets. And fourth through seventh prizes are $100 in cash and $50 worth of lottery tickets. Are tickets still available?
Yes, they are. And you can buy them through Zonta, okay, Zonta Club of Auburn, or you can go to the Knights of Columbus, and I believe they have some tickets there too.
And again, what time on Saturday?
5 o'clock.
March 7th.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Other things that are upcoming in Zonta or the Z Club, how are you ending the year? You obviously have the one project you still have to pick. What else is the club working on this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the really good projects that we just completed this too is called Operation Wellness Closet. And for that project, what we did is we partnered up with Auburn Education Foundation because they gave a grant to a couple of the employees at the Auburn Junior High School to have a closet with toiletries in it. There's a big problem with absenteeism where students don't come to school because they don't have the proper hygiene materials to make them feel confident to come to school and show up. So what we did is we actually ran a drive-through collecting items. We did our own collection of the items and got a lot of community donations from that.
And Bonnie Blair, who's a member of your
Yes.
club, as well as Janie
And Bonnie's
Hutchinson.
the one that gave me the idea. about this,
And
yes.
Janie Hutchinson of the Auburn Education Foundation will be here later in the month.
Great.
30 minutes goes really quickly. We do want to thank Julie Liccion, who's the advisor to the Z Club at the high school, as well as Skylar Bohla, Mariela Hernandez, as well as Madeline, Wolfgang. Thank you all three. Good luck in your college careers, and
Thank you.
we look
Thank
forward
you.
to hearing you do a lot of great things as donors, but more importantly as volunteers. And you can read more about the Zonta Club and in the Citizen. We want to thank you for watching. We'll be back on Thursday with Cuyahoga County Legislative Chairman Jonathan Anna, as well as the YMCA's Scott Sinsabo, to talk about what's going on at the Y and their plans for the building. If you'd like to send us your questions, you can send them to COZGUYTHO for either questions or guests. I'm Guy Cosentino for Cuyahoga Community College. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here in the studio on Thursday. And you're going to all stay here until we